Granger Hughes with Hughes Retirement Group. Today we're going to talk about something called a LIRP, or a life insurance retirement plan, as we have listed. And we utilize this for clients with a little bit higher net worth. And we talk about, actually in a course that we say, what are the wealthy doing differently? This is one of the things that they're utilizing and maximizing to their benefit as they get into retirement years. So something that you can kind of do with this, as you see I've got listed here, the Roth phase out. So a lot of people out there who are looking to put their money into a Roth IRA, they've got a phase out of $189,000 to $199,000 if they're married and filing jointly. So what that means is essentially if you're married and filing jointly and you guys make in modified adjusted gross income more than $189,000, this $6,500 contribution limit is going to start to be phased out for you. And once you get to the $199,000, you may not be able to contribute at all. So the positive with a Roth IRA, if we remember, this is our tax-free bucket. So if you reference back to some of the videos that we've done on the buckets of money, in the Roth IRA bucket, you put your money in that you've already paid taxes on, and when you take it out, all those gains are tax-free. So the reason we utilize this, what we call a life insurance retirement plan, is because there's no contribution limits, as far as there's no cap on how much we can put in each year. It just has to justify the death benefit. And there's no phasing out for income. You can make $1 million a year or $2 million a year and still be okay to contribute. So what we basically have are two different buckets of money here. We have a death benefit, let's just say it's $1 million. And then we have a cash value. So we can do this a couple different ways. You can fund this if you have an existing cash value life insurance policy. You can fund this by doing a 1035 exchange. So let's say we just dealt with a gentleman who did $350,000 of cash value. He shifted that over into this bucket. So that immediately went to $350,000. Now what that did is it bought him a death benefit. And the reason that's important is because we're going to talk in a second a little bit about long-term care. Also, that's another video that we've done. I think Rick actually did a video on long-term care and the different strategies. But what this does, it's very important to look at this death benefit, because here's the thing. If you were to need to access long-term care, and the way the government really stipulates that is, can they perform 2 of the 6 activities of daily living? So if they can't feed or bathe themselves, they are now able to access 95% of whatever their death benefit is, 2% of that a month. Okay, so for purposes of this illustration, they would be able to access 2% of $1 million per month. Okay, so they're able to access that tax-free. Now, on the flip side, let's say they've never needed long-term care. This bucket of money over here that they've got, this cash value, if we remember, we put this money in that we'd already paid taxes on, so all those gains are tax-free. Well, how is that money growing? Well, many of you are familiar with the common index of the S&P. So essentially, it tracks the S&P. So it's going to generate anywhere from 0 to about 12.5% a year. So we've talked in previous videos about 0 is your hero, not losing any money if the market were to take a downturn. So this $350,000 is going to gain anywhere from 0 to 12.5% a year. So the positive is, if they don't need to access long-term care, you've got this cash value bucket money growing here. If they did need to access long-term care, they've got $1 million to pull from. And if they were to pass on, obviously the beneficiary is going to get the greater of the two, which in most cases is going to be that death benefit. But the key is they're getting that tax-free. So when we talk about those buckets of money, we talk about Roths, we talk about Roth conversions, we talk about Roth 401ks. This is how you can structure a life insurance policy to perform for you both in the cash value sense and a tax-free sense, and from a death benefit and long-term care standpoint. So we would encourage you to, like I said, reference the long-term care videos, reference the buckets of money videos, and then also please like and subscribe for more additional content.